up, y'all? Coach Tom here. Welcome back to the Stoked Metabolic Podcast. I am so glad you're here with me. And Coda, he's hiding down here. He says hello. He sends his love, and he is happy you are here as well. As always, if it's your first time listening, make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're listening on iTunes. Also, leave us a 5-star review. Subscribe on YouTube. Share the video. Share the podcast. If you subscribe on Spotify, I don't even know if you can leave a review on there, but we love you wherever you're listening. And what we do with those reviews, we like to share them. But we also like to do some giveaways. So my 39th birthday is coming up. I cannot believe I'm saying that on here, April 25th. That will be the date of our next giveaway. I'll be giving away 6 months free coaching, $3,500 value to one lucky listener. And all you got to do, leave a review, share. I get notifications on all that fun stuff. I track them on the back end. I'll also leave a link in the show notes where you can just directly enter into my birthday giveaway. And I'll give one lucky listener 6 months of free coaching. So that's fitness, that's nutrition, that is mindset, mental, everything. I hold your hand the whole way. We work out your diet. We work out, your training plan based on your goals. And we just dial everything in and help you achieve your goals, whatever they may be. And, that's what I was put here on this earth for, and I got to give something back. So hopefully you enter to win, and maybe one of the lucky winners is listening right now. Today's podcast, I'm going to kick off with a little shout out. She'll get embarrassed, but my amazing wife, Kim, she completed her 3rd half marathon this year. If I'm not mistaken, her 4th half marathon this year. I'm sorry. She's run every single one of them this year with me. I've done 1 5K, 4 halves, 3 10Ks, and a full marathon since January 1st. So it's getting a little tricky to track. I should start a list going, but I got to give her a huge shout out. She got a PR. She came out, she hustled in the heat on the Best Damn Race Orlando. It was hot, it was humid, it was disgusting out, and she absolutely kicked butt. So baby, I'm so proud of you, and I love crossing that finish line with you every time. It is just amazing to see the hard work you put in and the hustle. And you can see I'm beaming. If you're listening, if you're watching the video, I'm beaming eye to eye just because, again, I'm so proud of her and proud of everybody. And every time they cross that finish line and the hard work put in during training, the work you do during the off season pays off when you cross that finish line. And anybody who, whether you set a PR or not, crossing that finish line is a hell of an accomplishment. And I'm proud of you. That's how we're kicking off this Monday. So I want you to know I am proud of you all. Today's podcast is a Q&A. So on Fridays, I will put up, ask me anything. And I hope on Monday, I'll have enough time to record through the weekend, answer those questions to the best of my ability and help you on your fitness journey. So without further ado, we'll dive right into our questions. First one is the easy one for me. The name is Cam Runs. Got a post-Princess half cold. How long do you allow yourself to recover before working out? So I'm assuming the name is Cam Runs, but Cam, I need to start practicing what I preach. So I recommend taking as long as your body needs, as long as you need to start feeling good again, to start feeling strong again. That being said, I don't always do that. I'm addicted to working out. I love working out. And as long as I know I'm not contagious, I'm not going to harm anybody else, I like to get back in there as soon as possible. I like to get my butt in the gym. I like to do whatever I can to stay moving because I tend to feel lazy if I'm sitting around too much and then I beat myself up and then I feel like I'm losing progress. That's not true. You're not losing progress. You're not losing gains. You're recovering. So I need to start practicing what I preach there. But good rule of thumb is listen to your body. How do you feel? Do you feel like you can safely do a workout today? Do you feel like it's going to set you backwards if you work out today? And it doesn't have to be your best workout of your life. I mean, coming out of a sickness, it's probably not going to be the best workout you've ever had. But maybe getting moving, sweating some of it out might help. Again, make sure you're not contagious. But I'll jump in the sauna if I'm not, if I know I don't have something like fevers and sweats and all that nastiness, I jump in the sauna. Try to just get that crap out of my body and get myself back in the game because I do love working out. I love fitness. I love training and probably not my best advice. There is no time frame that says, all right, 3 days and you're good. I mean, they've changed the Rona time frame 95 times already. So listen to your body. If you feel good to go, get the hell out there, get the work done. We'll jump right into my next question. We're going with my buddy Kieran Farrell, diehard Jets fan. Kieran Farrell, 31, thoughts on fasting. So for those of you that don't know, fasting is setting a window around your eating. So I can eat for 8 hours of the day and the other 16 hours I fast. I can eat for 6 hours a day and the other 18 hours of the day I fast. So if you've listened before, you've probably heard me talk about diets with names. So fasting, keto, Atkins, carb cycling, they all have names, and they generally all work based around the same process. Calorie deficit. Calorie deficit, calorie deficit, calorie deficit. That is what makes a diet work. You have to take in less calories than your body is using to lose weight. So if your goal is weight loss, you need to be taking in less than you're using. Now, how much am I using? Well, that takes a lot of dialing in. That takes a lot of figuring out. And you usually have to work with people for a while before we figure out where their metabolic baseline is and how low we can go below that safely to elicit fat loss. So fasting puts you in a calorie deficit. If you're only eating for 6 or 8 hours a day, you are gonna be in a calorie deficit most likely. Now, my thoughts on it, because you asked for my thoughts, that was your first mistake. The second was, let me take my coffee break there. My thoughts on it is it doesn't work for me. So when I found myself eating in a 6-hour window, I found I was over consuming. I'm a grazer. I've been a grazer my entire life. I like to snack. I just make sure my snacks are a little healthier now. But when I opened that 6-hour window, I found myself just like, give me this, give me that. And I was consuming more calories in the course of 6 hours than I was over a 12-hour feeding window. That is like my normal eating cycle. So there's positive hormonal benefits. I've been toying with the idea of a long-term fast for quite some time because there is some positive benefits on that. But I think we're just talking about the shorter fast. But I've been thinking about doing a 48 to 72 hour fast. I just pray for my wife if I ever do a 48 to 72 hour fast, because like I said, I'm a grazer and I love food. So she's a saint already, and I think that's asking a lot for her to put up with me fasting for 3 days straight. God forbid. But we're going down a rabbit hole there. If it works for you and it puts you in a deficit and it gives you that level of control where, hey, I'm eating less, good. If you can put yourself in a deficit without fasting and you feel better like that, even better. Now, one thing that does trigger me about fasting is people that work out early in the morning. So especially weight training, they'll do a 5 a.m. workout and they're like, I can't eat until noon. Well, I'm somebody who likes to start getting nutrients back into my system after I've beaten myself up, and I want to start the rebuilding process. I have now broken down muscle. I want to start rebuilding as soon as possible. I want to, get out of that catabolic state. I want to feed, I want to fuel, and I want to, just start recovering so I'm ready for battle the next day. 5 a.m. workout and me waiting till noon, I just don't think it's the best idea. I'm sure somebody will, refute that in the comments, but I'm cool with that. Give me your thoughts on it. And I'd love to, go to bat with some of that, Jumping around here, my next question comes from, I'm not sure who wrote the question, but my boys, Elsa, Anna, Strong. There's 2 of them. They run as Anna and Elsa. They're amazing. They do the Disney races together. Had a great time with them, down at Princess Weekend. But what are the best supplements to take with a cardio and strength training routine? So I could go down this rabbit hole for a solid hour and a half, 2 hours, but I'm going to try to just, respectful of everybody that's listening, just make it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, no more. I'm looking at the clock now. We'll see how I do. And let's see. I'm going to start off with saying, if you're not getting in enough protein, a great protein supplement will do the trick. So that, I try to take in 1 gram per pound of body weight, maybe a little more. So that puts me at about 210 to 220 grams of protein. It is hard to eat that much grilled chicken, steak, fish, turkey. It's hard to consume that much for me. And I eat like it's my job. That's what gives me my physique outside of the training. And I'll have 2 scoops of protein a day. That puts me at 40 grams right there. So we take my 220 goal, we take 40 out of that. I'm in at 180 grams right there left to go for the day. So if I can get ahead of that, and I'll throw some egg whites in there too, but a good protein supplement is phenomenal. You put runner and strength, cardio and strength training. So I'm also gonna say a good carb supplement. So carbs are fuel. You know, I think runners all benefit from having some carbs, and we've seen the goos, we've seen the gels, we've seen all that. I have a drink that I just drink. It's called Ignition right after, and it is just a fast digesting carbohydrate source. The protein, I take First Form Formula 1, and Ignition is their carb supplement. I mix the two of them together, and after every workout, every run, I slug that down, fast digesting carbs, fast digesting protein to refuel my body. And like we were talking about in the last question, kickstart that recovery process and get me moving back in the right direction. So those are my two everydays. My other everyday is creatine. So most studied supplement there is out there. They've done countless studies over the past, I want to say 50 years. I don't think they've ever found a thing wrong with creatine. I've been taking it since like 22, 23 years old. No negative side effects. Here, you might notice a little water weight gain right out the bat, but I mean, it's scale weight. It is what it is. You know how much I hate the scale if you've been listening for a while. I think the scale is a scam. And you'll take on a little bit of water retention. It's fine. You're not gonna die from water retention. A little bit. And what creatine's gonna do, it's gonna help that water though get into the muscles and kind of fill you up. And it's been proven to benefit endurance, strength gains. I've heard people who have worked out for years and not taken creatine and just been at a plateau. I've heard of them starting to supplement creatine and within 2 to 4 weeks seeing strength gains. So that's phenomenal. Like if you can add 5 to 10% of strength gains in a matter of 2 to 4 weeks, that's mind blowing. And you'll see people are a little crazy. We know that. People that are like, creatine, is that a steroid? No, it's not a steroid. I think it's made from it's generally from beef products, but you can get it other ways. But we just don't get enough of it. And there's brain function benefits. Like I could do a whole episode on creatine. I'm gonna try not to go down that rabbit hole right now because I want to hit 2 more. Something I've started taking more religiously in the past year has been magnesium. So I actually take First Form's creatine and magnesium just because I love their stuff. It's clean. I'll put links in the show notes to everything. But the magnesium has been a game changer for me because my biggest struggle is sleep. So I'm somebody who I wake up and my mind is racing and ready to go for the day. And I'm ready to fire down on things. And I'm like, dude, you've only gotten 5 hours sleep. And I'm like, well, if I get up now, I can go work out now. And then I'm ahead of the game and la-di-da-di-da. It's not good. It's not healthy. I got to get my 7 or 8 hours of sleep, 7 at the minimum, 8 preferably. So I've started incorporating magnesium. Magnesium puts me into a deep, restful sleep. I sleep through the night. Unless I drink too much water the night before, I sleep through the night. And I have wild dreams. Like I'm in the dream. I'm deep in the dream. And it's just fantastic. It has been such a game changer on my sleep, especially with the rundisney runs where I get those pre-race jitters and I have a hard time falling asleep. I incorporate that. I drink it about 30 minutes before I want to pass out, and I'm just lights out. I'm lights out, and I wake up feeling rested, recovered. There's so many other benefits of magnesium. I could go down that rabbit hole, but for me, the sleep difference has just been phenomenal. The last one I say I take, I got a whole list. I'll post my link to my best supplements also in the show notes. But fish oil, I've been taking that for years, just for heart health. You can never help your heart enough. And I've been taking that for years. Also helps the joints, skin, hair, all sorts of good stuff out there. And it's easy, inexpensive. I'll, again, put the link out there. But those are my top 5 supplements: a protein, a carb, creatine, magnesium, and fish oil. Let's jump around. Oh, I got 2 more questions left. And I like to keep these right around 20 minutes. So I think I'm going to hold off one question for the next episode, which I'll probably record right after this one, but you won't see it until a couple days later. This one goes out to Raven Lifts. I love your name. Raven, you lift. Fantastic. You're already on the right track. Explain what I do to be a runner, yet have a physique better than most bodybuilders. Well, if you're watching the video, I'm smiling ear to ear right now. Thank you, Raven. I do my best. I try. But if I'm answering this question honestly, I started on my bodybuilding journey before I started my running journey. I started the weightlifting 22, 23 years old. And I'm, like I said before, 38 years old right now. So I've been doing this for somewhere around 15 years and went from a hobby to a passion to a career to something I've just been a professional where I'm fascinated by all facets of bodybuilding and reconstructing. Just, it blows my mind that we can remold our bodies based on what we eat and what we do in the gym and what we do outside of the gym. The gym is an hour of it, but the other 23 hours really go into that bodybuilding portion. But that's been my passion, and I spent years building up my physique. And now 2017 was my first run. I did the Star Wars Dark Side Challenge. Wasn't running it all before, and I just was like, Star Wars, cool. Let's get out there and do that run. So I went out there, did my first Rundisney, loved it, didn't run again for a year. Ran again the next year. Then the world shut down and the Rundisney races stopped, so I stopped running. And then finally I was like, I need a little challenge in my life. I signed up for the Dopey Challenge. A lot of people will tell me I'm an idiot, not doing any running. I went into that fully untrained outside of doing, my normal workouts, and I completed that. So now I'm at a point where I try to run a little more consistently. I know my body feels better after the run, not during the run. I feel a little bit better during the run, but I incorporate the running more to get my body used to it. We know that, repetition is what's gonna build muscle, and I can rep all day on a squat, but if I'm not training those running muscles, they're gonna hurt the next day. My first Dopey, I laid on the couch after and everything locked up. It was not pretty. So I've incorporated running in addition to the bodybuilding thing. I think more runners should incorporate the strength training, should incorporate better nutrition, because that's what's gonna really injury proof you and help you stay in the game. Especially I have a lot of good friends that, I look at their training plan and they're like, I'm running 6 days a week and I'm trying to get ready for this, and overuse injuries settle in. And some of them will strength train and then they'll run the same day. And I'm like, look, we don't need to do that much. I'm proof we don't need to do that much. Let's get 3 days of running in. Let's get 3 days of strength training in, and let's get a day to rest, and let's see how we do there. Can't do 3 and 3, let's do 2 and 2. Let's do 4 and 1. But let's find the best of both worlds and combine them. Again, you asked how I look like a bodybuilder. A lot of that comes from nutrition. So I build the muscle in the gym for the most part. I break the muscle down in the gym. I build the muscle in the kitchen. So I've learned over 15 years how to fuel my body. I've learned that an 800 calorie diet does not do anything except kill my metabolism. I've learned that, starving myself to get skinny doesn't work. I'll get there for a little bit and I'll gain it all back, and then I'm even worse shape mentally, and I don't want that. I fuel the runs, I fuel the lifts, and I built muscle doing that. I take in an adequate amount of protein. So that's how I get that physique. And what running's done, running has really added to that for me, is I can lift longer because my cardio is in better shape now. I don't need as much rest as I used to. My gym workouts are taking less time because I feel good to go. I feel ready to go because I've now trained my cardio. My recovery time is better. Why? Because there's, my cardiac system is better and more oxygen is getting back into my muscles, and I recover faster. If a good conditioning program, you're gonna recover faster, and that's been fantastic for me. So I'm a bodybuilder at heart. I'm a physique guy at heart. I shouldn't say I don't look like, I look like a bodybuilder and I start thinking of Jay Cutler and I start thinking, I'm not that big, but I'm more of a physique guy, and that's where my knowledge base is. That's where my strength is. And I love it. I love weight training. I would love to, get more people to fall in love with weight training. So that's what I do. And I think that would benefit all of my runners out there listening. My next question, and I'm sorry because we just hit the 20-minute marker. My next question goes out to Brandon. Brandon runs the world. He asked me, I run 6 days a week and do no strength training. What's the best way to ease into strength training? ... I am going to leave you with that. I'm going to come into that one on our next episode. That will be my only question I answer. That will be the focus of the next question, how we integrate strength training into somebody who runs. And I'm going to actually dive a little, if he doesn't mind. I hope he doesn't. I should ask him, but I'm going to dive in a little, I've heard about Brandon's journey. It's pretty incredible, but we'll talk about that next time. I'll leave you all with that. Again, if you got Friday questions, shoot them to my inbox, leave them in the comments. 5-star review. That gets you 1 ticket to enter for 6 months free coaching. Subscribe, same thing. Share, same thing. I watch it all. Check out on the website, www.stokes.fit. I'll put the link in the show notes where you can just enter if you don't feel like leaving a review. Don't leave me a 1-star and think you're going to win 6 months coaching with me, because we're going to 5-star your butt, all right? I'm going to 5-star you into shape, and we'll get our reviews elsewhere. But on that note, we'll leave you for today, and I'll see you guys back here on Wednesday. Much love.